Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. I'll be doing this video in German and in English because there were a lot of people were complaining about that I don't do German videos anymore. So if you search on my YouTube site, you will find that I did this video in German as well. But now for you, I'm going to do it in English. And what's the reason I'm doing this video? Well, the reason is the recent release of Prepared version 3. It's already a few days ago or a few weeks ago, and well, I tried it out, and just to advise you, it's not going to be a review or an in-depth test of the product or even a serious benchmark. It's just a kind of first personal impression video. So I just want to tell you what impressions I had about the product, and I'm just going to start right away with the bad things that I think that Prepared version 3 has. And the first thing is that you have to do a complete new install of the product. You also have to do a complete new download. You can have both products on the same computer. I'm talking about Prepared version 2.5 and Prepared version 3, so you can have them parallel on your computer. That should work fine. And it's also good because some add-ons work with both versions parallel. So for example, I'm using Opus FSI weather engine with both versions, so that is a bit of a downside. And you also have to purchase it anew. This means you have to spend the whole price of the product. You don't get any discount for owning Prepared 2.5. You just have to spend the whole price on the product again, so that is a big downside in my opinion. And another downside is that there are still a lot of add-ons not available for Prepared version 3. Of course, there's the migration tool, which solves some problems, but as I did stick to the native Prepared version 3 installers, because I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So there are already some very important add-ons available, but a lot of them aren't available. For example, the Majestic Dash isn't available, the Aerosoft Airbus isn't available, but on the available side there is FTX Global, FTX OpenLC Europe, and also the dedicated regions are now coming. For example, Australia, England, I think Pacific Fjords, that's all available. What's missing is Vector, for example. What's missing is Rex Essential Plus. That's something I own, and it's not available at the moment. But it's slowly coming, so I think that's a rather small downside, because at the moment you can have a pretty decent product with the add-ons that are available. One big downside for me is, compared to 2.5, that some older add-ons, older aircraft, they don't work. For example, my beloved PMDG 747 and MD-11, they don't work. Actually, they do work, but they have a hell of a long loading time, and when they load up, they have a crappy frame rate. And the migration tool guy is aware of these facts. He's working on it. I hope he will be able to solve that. But at the moment, I cannot really recommend using those add-ons in Prepared version 3. But now for the good sides about Prepared version 3, and there are mainly two things that I'm going to talk about there. And I think these two good things, they outweigh all the bad things by far. And these are performance and VAS usage. And I can really tell you from my own personal experience, it's a leap forward. For me, the VAS usage went down, I would say approximately about 500 to 600 megabytes, and keeping in mind that I tuned the quality, the graphical quality, a bit up, and even with that, I had more frames per second. And the good thing is that they somehow implemented an algorithm that unloads things out of the memory that you don't need anymore. So the big problem with flying from one big add-on airport to another over another big add-on airport, for example, you're going from Vienna to London and you're flying over Amsterdam, and the VAS usage gets bloated up. So they found something where they can minimize this problem, and so the VAS usage really drops down. I tuned the graphical options up, and I'm still getting more frames per second. So I think these points outweigh the bad points by far. And the difference, at least for me, the difference is so huge. At first I couldn't believe it. It's really way better. I'm not talking about 2 or 3 frames more. I'm talking about like 6, 7, 8 frames more, and in some situations even more than that. And I'm talking about the VAS usage, because that is really awesome. And to sum things up, to really tell you what I'm experiencing with this product is, for me, it's making the impossible possible. In Prepar 2.5, I wasn't able to go from London Heathrow Extended, big add-on airport, to JFK, also a big add-on airport, with the PMDG 777. I wasn't able to do that. I got an out-of-error message, crashed the desktop. Of course, I was able to save the flight and to reload the flight simulator, but it was a crash to desktop. Now, with Prepar version 3, I can do this flight. I can go from London to JFK with the 777. I have no out-of-memory errors. I can land smoothly. The frame rates are good, and I still have, I think, about 300 to 400 megabytes VAS left. So this sums it up. So if you're thinking about going for Prepar version 3, at least at the moment, I can really recommend it. And I hope that if you're going to purchase it and if you're going to fly with it, that you will have a lot of fun. And until the next time, I wish you, as always, happy landings.